All right, thank you so much for downloading. And I'm glad there's no one listening at the beginning. We'll have to cut it out. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out the Youth with a Mission News Show, episode 118. The YWAM Ship M Pacific Hope is bringing relief work to the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorain caused significant damage to the nation. YWAM is bringing flood relief to Thailand and Myanmar. I'll also let you know about how you can get a free copy of the book We Can End Bible Poverty Now by Loren Cunningham, and also tell you how one location is working to help end Bible poverty, and more on this episode of the YWAM News Show. So again, thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Youth with a Mission News Show podcast. I am your host, Bill Hutchison. You can contact us, subscribe to future episodes, and leave comments and find links to all the stories that we talk about at ywampodcast.com/118. So on September 1st, Hurricane Dorain made landfall in the Bahamas, causing widespread destruction and death. The YWAM Ship M Pacific Hope arrived in northern Bahamas on September 8th and was the first hospital ship to arrive after the hurricane. They have doctors specifically trained in disaster relief, EMTs, and nurses. They've been busy with dispersing medical teams, organizing distribution of supplies around the island, and distributing fresh water to those who have been hit the hardest. We have more than 40 volunteers and crews who are cooking and distributing hot food, water, and supplies to the hundreds of people throughout the island. They're doing this using four-wheel drive vehicles. On Grand Bahama, they've also set up a warehouse and distribution center in High Rock, which is currently actually unable to be accessed unless you do have these four-wheel drive vehicles. Now, right before the storm hit, all of the medical staff who are actually based on the island were evacuated off the island. So when the MV Pacific Link arrived, there was no other medical people actually were on the island who were able to help. So the crew actually managed to repair a house and use it as a makeshift medical center. And they've been providing a medical team who've been able to provide medical work for the island. So now transport at the moment to the Bahamas is very limited. So the best way that you can currently help is by heading over to the MV Pacific Hope GoFundMe page, which is linked to at ywampodcast.com/118. Now, if you do want to help with the work that they're doing, you can do so there. And also on their Facebook page, which we'll also link to, you can find out how you can actually help, how you might be able to get involved, and just different ways that they're trying to partner with organizations who want to help in the Bahamas, and also with churches and with individuals who want to help as well. So YWAM Ubon has also been involved with some flood relief that's happening right now in Thailand. Now the water is the highest it's been in years, and it has flooded many different areas and many different people in the area. So last week, YWAM Ubon delivered 350 boxes of 450 boxes of food that included rice and water. It's an ongoing effort that they're doing there, and there's a lot of help that is needed, as you can see from the images, and you can see from the flooding that's been happening there. Now, there's a few different ways that you can help, both again by praying and by giving. So YWAM Thailand is a website at ywamthai.org, and you can go there to find out more, to see what is happening, to get updates, and also to make donations to the YWAM Ubon flood relief work. Now, Buzz Off is a ministry that is currently operating in Myanmar. Myanmar just borders with Thailand, and right now they're also experiencing a lot of flooding in the Mon state, which is one of the states in Myanmar. Over 100,000 people have been displaced from their homes, and with the water there has been an increase in mosquito breeding and also spikes in the malaria infections and deaths. The Buzz-Off team from Australia Mercy, Ministry of Youth of the Mission, have traveled to the area to distribute mosquito nets, rapid diagnostic testing kits, as well as approved medicines to help treat malaria. They've been working to give instruction on the dangers of mosquitoes and also how to reduce the number of mosquitoes in the area. The team's been assisted by local government authorities to get into some of the villages that have been badly affected by the floods. Many hundreds of families have been helped by the Buzz-Off teams who've had to travel by road and boat to reach some of the more outlying areas. You can find out more about the Buzz-Off Ministry and also donate to help provide medicine and mozzie nets on their website, australianmercy.org. Now, YWAM Ships Newcastle, Sunrise by the Sea Breakfast, came back for their second round. YWAM Ships Newcastle had the privilege of having Ishan Numa, the provincial ambassador of Min Bay from Papua New Guinea, to join them as their keynote speaker.
We so appreciate you waking up so early to join us and learning how we can further partner with the nation of Papua New Guinea. There are so many wonderful people gathered in this room, and it's very special to see so many friends, old and new.
Some of the most incredible people you can meet are up in Papua New Guinea, and I go nuts when I go up there. I go for a few days, go around and meet everyone and so on. But you build those deeper relationships, and it's just absolutely rich. Would we please welcome Mr. Ishan Numa? He's the provincial administrator, Milne Bay Province, Ashanti.
And this is about, I think, 15 years I've kept. And yeah, it goes around the family. My wife wears it, my daughter wears it, and it's come back to me. Yeah, most importantly, and I see it, is building partnership and collaboration. That is why I cannot stress this enough how important this visit for me and my province is.
So they're very thankful to everyone who's able to join them to celebrate the growing partnership that they've had with Milne Bay in Papua New Guinea, and also for those who have engaged to help in the nation. There have been a lot of different partners who've come from YWAM, from Newcastle here in Australia, to be able to help and to be able to join in partnership to help that nation. So you can visit ywamnewcastle.com if you do want to find out more about their ministry. Now, YWAM Immerse is actually a team of 12 that's currently serving in Cornwall, England.
We've been doing lots of different ways of outreach in Cornwall. We've been supporting local churches, we've been doing evangelism around Cornwall, we've been supporting ministries.
The most impactful thing of doing outreach in Cornwall has been letting the church know that they're not alone. For them to know that there are people from around the world actually coming and wanting to serve here in Cornwall has been just a massive blessing. And it proves to people that Cornwall is not just a random place, that God actually does care for Cornwall.
I think revival's coming to Cornwall, and it's an exciting place to be with your faith.
It's truly special what's happening here, and I'm excited to be a part and to be here in Cornwall whilst this is happening.
Cornwall itself, it's a very It's got a real family environment, the whole of Cornwall and the towns that we've been to, the churches we've been involved with. And the base itself is a real welcoming environment. You can be vulnerable, you can be yourself, it's very relaxed, it's very chilled. So it has that kind of at-home feel while also not being at home.
You'd be part of something special in Cornwall.
If you want to join in on that, if you want to be a part of that, then please join us, and we would love to have you.
So you can find out more about the ministry by heading over to YWAMEmmersecornwall.com. Now, at the moment, over half of the staff that is serving within Youth of the Mission is actually coming from non-Western nations. Now, God continues to call missionaries out of all nations, including the nation of Cambodia.
This is globalcastresources.com.
In 2006, I started to join YWAM here in Battambang. And every now and then I keep hearing people come to me and told me that God will send Cambodian people to the mission field. So whenever I heard that word, in my heart, I told myself that there's no way that Cambodian can go out to the mission field. Because I looked at the reality that the church cannot stand by themselves. And the church cannot support us as Cambodians to be missionaries in other countries. But throughout the years, I can see that God's been working, and God's been doing miracle things in Cambodia, especially in YWAM Battambang. I can see that the youth came here and trained to be discipled, and then they go out and share the gospel in Cambodia and also in the surrounding nations, Vietnam, China, Laos, Burma, and so on. So this is showing me that whatever God called or whatever God told us to do, what we need to do is just obey. And then God has a plan for us, and there's nothing impossible for Him. What we just need to do is just listen and obey.
Mentoring missions advocates. This is globalcastresources.com.
So you can find out more about how God is sending Cambodians into the missions field at the U of N Battambang website, which is uofnbattambang.com. And again, you can find links to all of these as well as watch the individual stories over at YWAMpodcast.com/118. Now, the audiobook version of We Can End Bible Poverty Now is actually currently available to be downloaded for free on the End Bible Poverty Now website, which is endbiblepovertynow.com. So in the book, Loren Cunningham, the founder of Youth of the Mission, speaks about his passion and goal to make the Word of God available to every person on earth. It builds upon the Christian Magna Carta, which states that everyone on earth has the right to hear and understand the gospel of Jesus Christ, have a Bible available in their own language, have a Christian fellowship available nearby, to be able to meet for fellowship regularly each week, and to have biblical teaching and worship with others from the body of Christ. Also to have a Christian education available for their children, to have the basic necessities of life, which are food, water, clothing, shelter, and health care available to them. Also to lead a productive life of fulfillment spiritually, mentally, socially, emotionally, and physically. And again, you can download a free copy of the audio version over at endbiblepovertynow.com. And if you do want a physical copy of the book, you can find that on Amazon if you search for it over there. Now, as part of the End Bible Poverty Now initiative that Youth of the Mission is engaging in around the world. Oh, there we go. Sorry. So that photo there is from YWAM Louisville, where they are currently engaged in distributing Bibles around the world. So just over this last summer, they were actually able to hand out 5,838 Bibles in 5 different countries. YWAM has been serving in Louisville since 2007 and continues to reach out to the local area and to other people groups around the world. You can find out more about their ministry on their website, ywamlouisville.org. So now YWAM Ships Kona looks to reach the isolated by bringing the love of Jesus and practical help in the form of healthcare to remote islands throughout the Pacific.
We are part of a very diverse region with many different languages, communities, and cultures
that these people live with. They have no way to obtain health care, dental care, vaccinations. So in that kind of situation, something as simple as a fever, a wound, an infection that sets in can become a life-threatening situation.
During one of our recent trips to Papua New Guinea, we met a man named Abraham. He lived on an isolated island just north of Madang. He hadn't seen in over 17 years. And because of that, he'd lost his livelihood, he lost hope. His entire village couldn't wait for the YWAM ship to come in.
Happy. Bless God, bless God, bless God, bless God, bless God, hallelujah.
After a simple 30-minute operation, sight returned to his eyes. In addition to Abraham, 10 others that day had their eyesight restored.
These ships are creating a way to change thousands of people's lives, and hope is becoming a reality. In the last 3 years, we have seen over 900 students and volunteers provide more than 150,000 services in 284 villages. We have been invited by many government officials to bring services to their coastlines. It is incredible to see these doors open in partnership with the government.
These germs make you sick, and that's what we're going to teach you so you know why you're washing your hands.
On the big island of Hawaii, we are positioned in the heart of the Pacific Ocean. From here, we provide a platform for people to be trained, equipped, and engaged in the nations. We know that there are thousands of people in similar situations like Abraham. For people living on these isolated islands, ships aren't just a good idea, they are the only option.
I can still remember the first time I saw a blind person see again. And in that moment, it was so much more than their sight being repaired. It was a restoration of their hope. And that's why it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
This is the pure gospel. Jesus met people where they were at when he walked this earth centuries ago. He's still doing it today.
I want to bring healthcare. I want to bring encouragement.
I want to bring hope.
I want to bring restoration.
Transformation.
Joy.
Education. Compassion. Comfort.
Change. Love.
Truth. Mercy.
Hope.
So you can find out more about the YWAM Ships Kona ministry by heading over to their website, ywamshipskona.org. So they have information on there that you can find out about the ships that they operate and the countries that they head over to visit. So over the past 4.5 years, Youth of the Mission Wheelie has been working alongside Mama Alice in Uganda and helped with her vision of bringing a preschool into the area.
4.5 years ago, I was in Uganda with a team from YWAM Wiley. While there, Mama Alice shared her vision of starting a preschool with me. Her hope? To reach many more families than she already was impacting in her community, and she felt a school was the best way to do that. With Bruce's building background and an eager team of young people, we had the labor and experience needed to make her dream come to life. After sharing the vision with others, the body of Christ generously stepped up, and over the next 3 years, we sent YWAM Wiley teams to help with the construction. In the fall of 2018, Mama Alice's vision became a reality when the school opened its doors. Today, there are over 100 students enrolled in the school who otherwise couldn't afford an education, and it's just the beginning. In April of 2019, we sent a team to teach in the school for the very first time, and we look forward to sending many more teams in the future.
So they're hoping to continue to partner with her for many years to come by sending teams to do teaching, as well as by continuing to develop the ministry that they're running there. You can find out more about how they plan to continue to help and to partner together by heading over to ywamwilly.org. YWAM has been ministering in Spain for over 45 years, with their location in Madrid having started up in 1972. Hope House is a ministry to the pilgrims on the Camino de Santiago trail.
Welcome to the Camino de Santiago, here in Hope House, where we've been the last 2 years working on a vision.
This vision is to host the pilgrims and be an expression of God's love to them. This property is now for sale, and we would like, through this video, to communicate with you the great opportunity that we have to consolidate the ministry and the Camino of Santiago by buying this property. We are not a shelter, it's a house, a home. We want the pilgrim to arrive and feel at home, welcomed, loved, cared for, where there are people with ears to hear and heart to understand their situation, their questions, and to be able to minister to their lives.
How do we contact the pilgrims, or how do they find us? They meet us in a chapel that was loaned to us by the people of a village. This is where we make the first contact. We talk to them, we share who we are, and there we invite them to come to our home. It's a personal invitation. Another way is through this book written by one of the pilgrims who was here 2 years ago. Roy has been impacted by his experience, and he has written a book of his journey. In the book, he talks about us and his experience. These are the 2 very simple ways to express our welcome and invite people to spend a night with us. When they arrive at Hope House, we offer them a comfortable bed, dinner, breakfast in the morning, and meaningful conversation. This is where things really happen. We are amazed to see the thousands of pilgrims that walk the Camino and that meet us at the chapel.
Last year, 5,000 pilgrims spent the night in our small town. Of these 5,000 pilgrims, more than 2,000 of them stopped in the chapel to talk with us. Of these 2,000, more than 10% spent the night at Hope House. Hope House is a place of hope for the pilgrims. What are the next steps ahead of us? We have the great opportunity to buy this property, which we have been renting in the last 2 years. The owners, excited about what we're doing, despite having put the property on the market, have given us the priority, reducing the price by $85,000 of its market value. The final price is $225,000 for the property. And now we have this great opportunity to make it a reality. We do have a certain urgency, but the first miracle already happened. The owners have knocked down 85,000 euros of that original price. Would you consider to contribute to the purchase of this property? In the history of the church and missions, we see a tremendous value in collective faith. People who get together believe in a word in a vision from God to bless others. This is our hope, that you, together with others, will partner with us on this mission on the Camino de Santiago. So we, Alfonso and Debbie, together with the team of volunteers from Youth with the Mission Vigo, are leading this project. So thank you so much for listening to us and being part with us in reaching the thousands of pilgrims that come along the Camino de Santiago right here in our doorsteps in Galicia, Spain.
So if you had a look at the video for that, you'll see that when they last published that update, they were actually only lacking about 70,000 euros. So they're awfully close to getting that property, which has been an amazing resource and an amazing tool for them for outreach to the people who are walking that trail. So you can find out more, including how you can possibly donate and be a part of their ministry, the Hope House Ministry, on their webpage, madrid.jcum.com. And again, you can find links to that and everything else that we talk about at ywampodcast.com/118. YWAM Muizenberg has had a vision to train and send out 200 students per quarter, or about 1,000 a year, and to see over 2,000 sent into missions by 2025, of which they want at least 500 of them to be actually South Africans.
30 years ago, YWAM Muizenberg started at the southern tip of Africa with an impossible dream to train young people from different races and backgrounds during a time of apartheid. It was not, humanly speaking, possible. But what was impossible became possible because of God's vision. We have seen thousands of young people being trained from South Africa, but also from around the world. Now we have got another dream, and that dream is to see this vision God has given us multiplied, to train 1,000 people from South Africa and other parts of the world to be sent out and to make their lives count for the gospel of Jesus Christ. In order for us to do this, we need to expand. And we have got this incredible opportunity where we have just put in the offer to purchase a large hall to be able to see that vision and this dream become possible. We call it the Ubuntu Center. It's a Nguni word that basically means that we belong together, that there is unity amidst great diversity, and we know it is the message of Jesus and it's the cross of Jesus that makes this possible. This is the unique message that I believe South Africa is offering to the world. Over the last number of weeks, we have seen incredible favor with a matching pledge of up to 5 million rand, 350,000 US dollars. This is half of what we need in order to purchase this hall, this Ubuntu Center that will become a hub for our training and our sending. It can become possible, but we need you to be a part of that. Every dollar, every rand, every euro, Swiss franc, or whatever currency you want to give towards this next 5 million rand that we need, 350,000 US dollars. It will be matched by this donor, up to 5 million. We want to ask you to partner with us. Your church, your home group, you as individual, your foundation, your business, whatever sphere of influence God has given you. Why don't you pray with us to make this dream from Africa a reality, to be a blessing to this continent, to this nation, but also to the rest of the world. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for praying with us.
So it's been an exciting journey so far for YWAM Muizenberg, and they're very thankful to everyone who's already been a part of it so far, and who've been continuously sowing into their community. If you head over to ywammuizenberg.org/Ubuntu, you can find out more about the center, about what they're planning to do with it, and about how you can look at possibly donating. A part of Youth of the Mission is our training schools. So that's part of the University of the Nations, which is the training branch of Youth of the Mission. So some of the upcoming training opportunities that we have, I'll share with you now. The first one is actually in April of 2020, when YWAM North Cascades in the USA has a unique training program for creative artists to train in the use of using cartoons and using their cartooning skills to impact people with the hopes of the gospel.
Hi, my name's Jason. I'm a comics artist, and I meet artists all the time trying to figure out how their passion for art, passion for comics, passion for Jesus, all those things can intersect. And I'm just convinced that comic books are a power. Hi, my name's Jason. I'm a comics artist, and I meet artists all the time trying to figure out how their passion for art, passion for comics, passion for Jesus, all those things can intersect. And I'm just convinced that comic books are a powerful way to share the hope of Jesus with those that haven't met him yet. The Comic Seminar is a 6-week course in which you'll sit before industry professionals and missionaries who've been on the field and learn how to fine-tune your cartooning skills, fine-tune.
All right, I'm not really sure what happened to that video. I've got another version here. We'll try pulling that one in. See if we have any more better luck with that. It was a bit strange, wasn't it? Let's see, I've got 2 copies. We'll grab the bigger one this time, and we will let, I think his name was Chris, wasn't it? We'll let Chris tell us about it.
Hi, my name's Jason. I'm a comics artist, and I meet artists all the time trying to figure out how their passion for art, passion for comics, passion for Jesus, all those things can intersect. And I'm just convinced that comic books are a powerful way to share the hope of Jesus with those that haven't met him yet.
To one of these
the Comic Seminar is a 6-week course in which you'll sit before industry professionals and missionaries
that we have ever done. So I guess there's still a few hiccups that we need to work on. Here we go. Let's try this one.
Hi, my name's Jason. I'm a comics artist, and I meet artists all the time trying to figure out how their passion for art, passion for comics, passion for Jesus, all those things can intersect. And I'm just convinced that comic books are a powerful way to share the hope of Jesus with those that haven't met him yet. The Comic Seminar is a 6-week course in which you'll sit before industry professionals and missionaries who've been on the field and learn how to fine-tune your cartooning skills, fine-tune your storytelling abilities, and then use those to create an evangelistic, contextualized comic book for an unreached people group. So if that is intriguing to you, we'd love to invite you to join us. We're inviting people from all over the world to the Frontier Comic Seminar. Hope to see you there.
All right, so like I said, that seminar will be happening in April of 2020 in North Cascades. And it's something that, if you have a passion for comic books or for cartooning, or if you have a skill in it, that's probably something you might want to look at checking out. So one of our other upcoming schools that will be happening is called the Discover Nations School. Now, it's a critical thinking course that looks to study different aspects of land, nation, and peoples, and how they relate to the global missions and to the spread of the gospel. At the end of the 12-week course, the student will be able to have a understanding of what the Bible says about God and human interactions over the earth. They'll be challenged to think and discuss implicationally about interactions between people and nations in modern global affairs. Also to have a basic understanding of doing missional and geographic research to answer questions about the world. During the lecture phase of the school, which is the first 12 weeks, some of the topics that will be looked at are local and global conflict, migration and refugees, urban space, borders and territory, ethnic and national identity, human impact on the environment, and more. All those topics seem to be quite pertinent at this point with what's happening around the world in all of our nations. Now, after that lecture phase, you will actually have the opportunity to participate in an 8-week field research trip. Now that's being offered by YWAM King's Lodge, which is located in the United Kingdom. And if you head over to thekingslodge.com, you can find out more. So thank you very much for tuning in for this, the first ever live episode of the Youth with a Mission News Show. As you saw, we did have one little hiccup there that, next time we will hopefully be able to avoid. But thank you so much. You can leave comments on this YouTube video or also over at YWAMpodcast.com/18. /118, because this is our 118th episode. So if you head over to YWAMpodcast.com/118, you can subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on your favorite podcast listening device or player. This is available in audio version or video version. And on there, you can subscribe, leave comments, and find out more about everything that is happening. So again, thank you so much for downloading and listening and watching this episode of the Youth of the Mission News Show.